Okay, okay. It's unbelievable that we make it this far. Undeniable. We see the promised land from afar. Even you give us a move.
Okay, I'm just following.
You know it's not in vain. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion.
Siku zazibadilika, mengi yazidi kunipita jama. Oh no, maji yalipozidi unga, hawakudhani tutafika. It's unbelievable that we made it this far. Undeniable to see the promised land from afar. So beautiful. They gonna know we
Ready? 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 Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion. It's a narrow road to Zion. Nothing will ever deny us. Whatever it takes, keep on rocking. Whatever it takes, keep on moving. To Zion, to Zion, to Zion. Ready? Yeah, 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 yeah. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Steady rocking on the midnight train. Oh Lord, steady rocking on the midnight train. To Zion, to Zion.
Oh my God. Well done, guys.
Yes, so while COVID so well.
Thank you so much.
I was like, I don't want to sweat, you know, but I want to dance. But
You're taking it very easy.
yeah.
Yeah? What is it? Singumu, singumu. Lakini, let's just get straight into it. First and foremost, let me just say, they think I'm working. This is not working. This for me is a dream come true, and the truth be told, I've waited a long time. I've looked forward to meeting you guys.
Hi.
I have. Hi.
Oh, Caroline,
so
that's
it's
so
just
sweet.
totally a great occasion, and I'm privileged and honored. This is my Africanacity moment. I mean, it's every so often, you know, you ask yourself, how do you get to live? How can you live your dreams? How can you be like Oprah for a day? Which is kind of what I'm going to be doing today, talking to the most loved band in Kenya, for sure, and in Africa. So
soon to be the world.
Asanteni sana. Soon to be the world. You're taking over the world. Actually, some very big claims there. And it's interesting that you've said, first you've claimed to be the most loved band in Kenya.
I don't know if you can claim.
Well,
Can you claim to be the most loved, or people tell you that?
well, let's just say we thank you, our fans, for the love. We love you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree.
But I
disagree.
don't think there's many
Most
bands
loved.
to love.
Oh,
So
okay,
like,
yeah.
I mean, you're either liking, so you either love Sauti Soul, or you know, maybe Alani, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, there's many bands.
Yeah.
There's actually many bands.
There's
I'm just
many
like-
bands, but it is true.
It's a pleasure, though, you know, like,
Yeah.
we are Kenyan grown, Kenyan bred,
Yes.
Kenyan everything.
Kenyan everything, fantastic. Yeah, and now taking over the world, and we'll get to that in a bit. But 15 years, and just to put it into context, I think it's 2005 when you got together.
No.
No?
Was that?
Oh, it was
So
before
actually,
that.
in fact, the three
See?
of us met in high school.
Yeah.
So the three of us go.
Of course, yeah, you met in high school, but
Yeah.
when you went first into recording studio was about
That was in 2006.
2006.
Actually, when were we doing Spotlight on Kenyan Music when we went to
2006.
Kettlebell Studios?
That's after high school.
Did you know that this is what you were going to do for life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you know that music was going to be what it is that you did?
I think when I met Delvin and Chimano
Really?
in high school in choir, and we just had our own like singing group, and we used to practice over break, over lunch. I just figured myself out at that point, and I never ever wanted to do anything. I didn't even like fill up the university forms that they give you in high school.
No?
I did go to uni, I did finish, I studied journalism, but
Yes.
it was all like...
Because you always knew the music.
I always
was
knew
it.
that this is going to be my bread
That
and
was
butter.
the seed that had been planted
Yeah.
in you that you're giving to the world. And it's true, when you live out your life's purpose, it gives you back what it does, you know, a whole world stage and everything, which is what we are seeing now and experiencing for the last 15 years. I think for me, what I was just going to say is that the music keeps evolving. So the first time, mafunzo ya dunia, I'll be honest. Mafunzo ya dunia, I'll be honest, hiyo sikushika. Lakini nikupeleke Java, I think was where I started.
Where you were just saying, okay.
And that is 15 years ago.
Yeah.
No, that's 12.
It's actually 12.
Lazizi, it was 2008.
Yeah, 2008, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
2008.
Yeah.
Okay, but my point being that with every album that you launch, even as I have grown, you know, it has stayed relevant. I still, you know, sing along. It captures my imagination. It captures my daughter's imagination, which I told you is, you know, Nyambuji.
Nyambuji. Shout out Nyambuji.
Yeah. And so how do you decide what to serve your audiences? What fuels you? Where does that come from? Because it's ageless.
I think it's our spirit. It's our lives. It's what we go through. When you listen to Java, the way Java is written is how a 21-year-old would express love, you know, where it's pure, very innocent, like just taking you out for coffee. Like we used to pass by Java House from rehearsals.
Yes.
And in the evenings, like, you know, with our guitars,
Yes.
you're like 21 years old, you're chilling, you know, everything is just fine in life.
Yes.
We used to aspire that.
Yeah.
You see people outside the window when you're passing, you see inside Java and you see two people having coffee, like a date. That thing was special. I was like, I want that.
Yes.
And the guys dressed up nicely, the ladies just smiling.
Yeah.
Java was a big deal. Yeah.
Java was a
I mean,
big
still
deal.
is.
Still is, but you know,
but
then
then
it was
it was,
the first coffee shop that kind of looked big, because of course we watched movies and it looked kind of like a Starbucks.
Yeah.
So for us that was a representation of it, like, you know, a bougie coffee shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
So
Sorry.
you see, like, as the way Lazizi is expressed and the way my everything is expressed, it just shows you this is growth. This is growth. This is travel. This is interacting with different kind of people.
Right.
This is intercultural integration with other people. And you can see marriage. You can
Yes.
see, because we sing about divorce now.
Yes.
You see, Polycarp is married. Bien is married. Polycarp is almost having a kid.
Yes.
So you can tell, like, our thoughts.
So
evolving.
So the music evolves with your life stages.
Exactly.
It
So
does.
you're writing to life stage and life experience.
I often say, like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't, my mother is 62,
Yes.
and there is no 62-year-old guy who's singing love songs for her to crush on.
Yes.
And I would love for Sauti Sol to be the first band to be 62
And
and to sing to other 62-year-old chicks who are out there and
you know,
want
growing
love.
with our fan base
Yes.
also. by
Growing
the
with our
time-
fan base,
Yes.
and I would love for you to come to our show
Yes.
with your granddaughter and your
Yeah.
daughter, you know,
Yeah.
like
Right. Show
to
them
be able to
understand.
experience a legacy project of that nature, because I see that happen in the Western world all the time with the
Yes.
Rolling Stones,
Yes.
but never in the continent.
So you've always had a long-term view. Would you say you've always had a long-term view?
Always.
Always. You know that this is what you're going to do, paka mwisho.
It's this or this.
This or this. I like that. Yeah.
We are far too in also.
Yes.
We're into deep
There's
now.
no way out. Yeah. No,
And
but
it's working.
It's work. Of course, it's working. Look at me being bigger. Yeah. Did you ever think that you'd get so big? Did you ever think that it would result in the things that you're experiencing now? I mean, from the time you walked outside Java to today.
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Let's hear it, yeah?
Yes. Because I mean, I think the drive in that moment, and what our conversations were in the beginning, it was all about, you know, when we'll be here, when we're going to start touring. When it wasn't about self-doubt, it was always about when. So, and everything that has happened in our lives, we do realize that it's happened as a result of the things that we talked about, and maybe consciously or subconsciously we worked towards, we didn't realize, but we realized later, like, oh, just a couple of years ago we wanted to be here. A couple of years ago we wanted to win this award.
Yes.
You know, then eventually it happens, and from then on you just realize you keep just talking about grandiosity. Just keep talking about your next achievement and where you and the betterment of us as human beings, and it just works out.
So you remained aspirational. You kept dreaming bigger dreams,
Yeah.
and eventually you find yourself there.
Yeah.
So what would you tell young people? Of course, right now everyone's looking at you and they think, "Wow, I want to be soul generation. Look at that." Huh? What would you say to young people who are looking up to you, and asking themselves or saying to themselves, "I want to be Sauti Soul. I want to be BN. I want to be."
I was told something new.
Savara."
I was told something new. To date,
Yes.
we still have teachers.
Yes.
We have a voice coach. We have a
Dance.
I have a guitar. I take a guitar and a piano class.
bass.
Especially COVID has really helped me because now during this COVID period, I've been able to like pick up on the instruments that I had.
Left.
Yeah,
Kind
you
of
know,
like-
yeah, kind of not taken seriously. And
Yes.
I've been able to sharpen that skill. So for me, I'll just tell any kid who's watching this that the musician of 2020
Yes.
is a multi-instrumentalist, producer, writer, and does so many things. And you have all these tools on the internet.
Right.
So for you to be able to compete in the world,
Right.
equip yourself.
Yeah.
Because the new trade, the new currency right now is skill.
Skill.
Yeah.
And multi-skill.
Multi-skill.
Up your skill level as a musician,
Up your
man. You
skill
know,
level.
like the more you can do, the more you have an edge over your
But what if you
counterpart.
just have? What if you can? You can sing, but you can't.
Those days are gone.
Those days
Actually,
are gone. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I can't like be a singer.
We are
and
not
come and
signing
collaborate
people.
with
We are not
you.
signing people who can sing.
Yeah.
We're
See,
signing
again,
people who can
there's so
sing
many.
and write and play and do this and
Yeah.
dance.
So basically, you have to have at least what, like 3-4 skill sets.
Not particularly. I just say like you
Yeah.
have to have a deep understanding of your craft,
Deep
and a deep understanding of your craft
that.
requires you.
Sorry.
You have to have a deep understanding of your craft.
Yes.
And just like in law,
Yes.
we have different types of law, different genres of law.
Yes.
In music as well, you need to have like an understanding of music theory, an understanding of a little bit of guitar, a little bit of production, and those are things that you use in your life as you continue.
Yeah.
Because today you're writing a hit song, tomorrow you're scoring music.
But what about the in-between time? So you're writing, you're multi-skilled, you're what have you, but can you make a living? How so
It's so
aspirations are
easy.
one.
So it's possible.
Right,
So
okay,
So
go,
for
yeah,
all kids out there,
yeah.
it's actually possible.
Yeah.
We are living testimony
Yes.
of this. And
Excuse me, can you just please close this door?
Yeah, close it.
I'm hearing everything in there. and I'm trying to-
Y'all are having a party in there.
I was wondering what, how to tell them. Thank you.
No, it's
Yeah.
okay.
so,
Sorry.
we are living testimony of this, man. It's possible. Just as Biana said, just equip yourself. Right now, it's the best time to be alive also, because with the internet, you can just do one skit or do one thing that can, your break is not dependent on so many factors.
And gatekeepers.
Gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Right
Actually,
now,
the platforms
right now,
are available
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
take your
it's harder,
art. Yeah.
but it's quicker also.
Yes.
It's harder, but it's quicker. So just grow, and you can not only be like Sauti Soul, you can be better.
Let me tell you something, by the way. Where Sauti Soul has reached, there is a point you're going to look at a Kenyan artist 10 years from now, and people will laugh at Sauti Soul's achievements. Because the artist of that time, the Kenyan artist of the decade, of the next decade, is going to be a global star.
I don't think.
Like,
we'll
I look like
ever
I'm talking
laugh
like a
at
prophet,
Sauti
but
Soul,
it's going to be
honest.
true.
I don't think that we'll
for
ever laugh.
sure.
I think we will say that you opened the doors.
I know,
You-
but
you-
what
you
I'm trying to
showed
mean
that- yeah,
is, what I'm
but
trying to
they'll
mean
get a
is,
lot
like,
further.
Kenyan art is going, it can only
going
go up from
further,
here.
yeah.
And if you're a kid and you're watching,
Yeah.
these things that are happening to Sauti Soul
Right.
will happen to you and more and better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? I have to say that the creative energy that is coming through, especially with this album, given everything we've seen, the flyers and the billboards and everything, it's just world class,
Wow, thank you.
Absolutely world class. And I guess to your point that there's so much more to be had. If you look at that, you look at your creativity and you look at some of the stuff that say Beyonce is doing, and it's right up there. You understand?
What?
Yeah, it's right.
What?
I mean,
Metro
this is
Gamble.
energy.
All right.
So maybe Chimano.
What do you want to say about that,
He's a creative director, right? Yeah.
He is. I mean, you can tell.
Yeah, he's the only one who's on script, by the way. So we had a dress code. It was Ankara.
And we were
Jen
told
had
leather
some
jackets.
story.
Sid Lembo
But,
leather jacket. And I
but
turned
it
jeans.
was-
wow. Oh.
Yeah.
But anyway, it works out well.
Yeah, at least.
So tell me, what informs your creativity? Where do you source it from? Where's the energy? How do you come to the place where you put together the colors, the costumes, etc.?
With a lot of help
With a lot
from
of help.
everyone.
Yes.
But a lot of these things, like for me, for example, how I became interested in just, I guess, looking at visuals and watching performances, like because I'm a very theatric human being, so I love performances that are out there. I've watched plays, musicals, and things like that. So those things like subconsciously just work on your brain that you eventually just end up harnessing your own ideas. What do you say? They just come to you.
It just comes to me.
It just
It
comes,
just comes to me.
because eventually I was not this person.
Yeah.
As I was trying to figure my life out, and
Yes.
Oh, he was
and
not.
No, he
I
wasn't.
really was
So
not.
what was it like?
Chimano, we have pictures of
Are
Chimano that
you
can break the
serious?
internet. Like this guy.
You have to share some of those with your
I was
audiences.
not this person.
Yeah.
And like, of course, I look at myself. We look at ourselves. I
Yeah.
look at them, and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm just like, wow, you've done well, my
Yeah,
brothers. You've
yeah,
done well.
yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing the growth in which we've managed to grow individually, and also the things we've picked that are the passion of ours that immediately just fall in within the whole dynamic of the group. So I mean, just creativity, clothes, fashion. What I see on the aesthetics on a music video, I love it.
Yes.
I love it because it looks good. That is
very
what
good.
that's what creates conversation as well.
Yeah.
Apart from the music, that is what drives drives eyeballs. That is what to an
It's a
extent
whole
defines you
package, yeah.
as
It's a
an
whole
artist.
package, yeah.
Yeah.
The sound, the look,
Yeah.
the vibe, the energy, all that is a package. Yeah. Yeah,
It's a whole package.
I mean, it's definitely zany, it's definitely catchy, and it's world class. So well done.
Thank you.
And keep it going, keep it going. And there's something I've picked up from both of you, which is this thing about constantly feeding yourself. So you feed yourself, or you feed your creativity. You sharpen your creativity and picking up from the internet, picking up from the world and the universe and all the different sources, and that way the growth comes. So there's a curiosity you have to have, isn't it?
Definitely.
You can't be sitting around in the same old places and expect that new things will emerge. Yeah.
Especially now,
Oh,
like
God.
I'm
There's
telling
TikTok,
you.
after 1 week, there's another thing. You have to jump on. It's crazy.
Yes.
And if you're not spot on,
Yeah.
unawacha nyuma.
Unawacha nyuma.
Yes.
Sometimes I just admit, okay, imenipita. Like,
Yeah.
the
Kama
gloves.
nini imekupita, for example?
I've tried doing TikTok in
TikTok
the house. Like I just have to let's agree.
Let's
Like,
agree. I think TikTok is a young person.
no, Nameless is on TikTok.
Oh, is he?
Okay, not to say Nameless is old. But Nameless is my G, and I see him on TikTok with his daughter, though. With his daughter. So I think the TikTok of 2050.
Yeah.
Me and my daughter are probably gonna be.
You're gonna be
killing.
You're gonna be
It's gonna
killing
be a
it.
father-daughter app.
Yeah. Well done.
Father-daughter TikTok.
So maybe moving now to Savara, around your agency. You have a passion for women, Sawa. Tell us about Sawa.
Sawa is a program that we started in Eastlands. It's part of just giving back. It's CSR. And
Eastlands is where you grew up?
Yeah, I grew up
Yeah,
in
so
Jericho, Maringo, those areas, Buruburu,
Yes.
Jerusalem,
Yeah.
that whole area. And my growth, growing up, soccer and interaction has really shaped who I am. Even the fact that how I met these guys.
Yes.
I used to play soccer a lot with BN also.
Yeah.
That's how we also met. So it was just part of something that we started in terms of just giving back to people of that area. And
But why girls?
that I felt like in terms of soccer, the game itself, it was such a male-dominated thing. And I just wanted to give back to the minority in terms of that. And that's how it started. And the women have excelled. Most of them have found some work. Some of them have gone abroad. Like, and that's purpose. Like,
yes, that's purpose.
we were discussing with my guys the other day how purpose, all through our lives, it took us a lot of time and we didn't know. Bien was always asking, hey, Savara, what's our purpose, man? Like, yo, you know, like, we sing, all this thing is making sense. We are on tour. Like, but I can see Chimano is having thoughts, you know. It's that thing of, okay, where are we headed? But over through time, we just discovered our music changes lives.
Yes.
And all through our careers, we've been changing lives. And that's our purpose. So it's just those things that you start, a project that you start, it's within your purpose, but you're just throwing a wild card, you know? But then you find, oh my God, it's actually within my purpose after you discover, like, changing lives is Sauti Soul purpose.
That's
and
amazing.
it's done well.
Changing
and
lives is Sauti Soul's purpose.
Yeah.
So it's not
It
just
is.
about the music,
No,
it's
yeah.
about changing lives.
Changing
it's a
lives.
much higher...
There's a higher
Okay, you know, like a lot of people assume
Like
the fact that
yeah.
you're talented and you found your gift,
Yes.
that's your purpose. It's
Yeah.
not.
And you know, it's true. I don't know, I can't remember, and I was racking my brain about this writer. He's a motivational writer. He died a few years ago, and he talked about dying empty. You know, make sure
Empty
that you
yourself.
die empty. Like, we don't want to have a graveyard of
Full of
stories that were
ideas.
never told, music that was never written, poems that were never
Amen.
said, you know? Because you
We
take
are
them. Yeah?
guilty.
Yeah, and actually Nipsey Hussle's mom said the same thing.
Nipsey Hussle.
You know Nipsey Hussle? Nipsey Hussle is a rapper who passed away, I think,
Oh,
a year
right,
ago.
okay,
He
yeah.
was shot in
Oh, yeah,
LA.
of course,
Remember,
yes, I remember
yeah,
that.
an Eritrean
yeah,
guy.
You're right, I do remember
And his
that
mother
now,
at his funeral said, empty yourself.
empty yourself.
Yeah,
die
like
empty.
yeah.
And it sounds, I mean, a bit gruesome, but it's actually the biggest thing that you can do for, you know, your life should
It is.
matter, and you should leave behind
Yeah.
a footprint and gift. And to your point,
For example, like that,
Yeah.
that time when I decided to do that, I had broken, like I had a fracture. And it was that time it was my birthday, and I was like, most of the time when I do birthdays, I always like, you know, share my love with my friends here. I'm always with these guys. But, man, because after that is when after people came to see me, after a while, they stopped seeing me. I couldn't go play shows. It was a lonely place. And that lonely place, that lonely time is when I was just like, hey, I could die any day. But what I have, people know me, people see us on billboards, but what have I done? So that's how the thought started. And it's so amazing that you asked, because the other day I just went to have lunch with my girlfriend at Mama Rock's. So I had even forgotten that one of the chicks from Sawa is now like one of the best employees there. So I just walked in, and she came out. The way she came and gave me a hug, despite COVID, and she didn't care how, that energy and how it made me feel was my number one. I was like, nothing can replace this, what I just felt. Yeah, and that's Sawa.
that's powerful. That's
Yeah.
powerful. That's
Yeah.
Sawa, and that's Sauti Soul.
Yeah.
And I think you're doing it because, for real, as I said, I'm Gugu and Gaga, but I think there's a whole industry behind you. The people that you employ, the people I employed in the industry that work together with you to make all these things possible.
Yes, yes, yes.
And that's the impact. So your life is having an impact beyond yourselves,
Yes.
and that's just simply great. So you saw the way he just basically told those guys.
Wait.
Yeah? It's called leadership.
Yeah.
It's a leadership.
I was struggling to
Yeah,
hear
I'm
you.
sitting here, and Yani, it's, I should be the one like saying,
Nyamazeni
hello. Everybody sees you, or sees in you.
You should stop.
They should stop.
Yeah, I got a D+ in math.
Come on. We're not talking
Math
about...
does not
What is
determine
math?
your
Are you?
leadership status.
Like leaders must be able to
So what?
calculate.
So leaders must have an A in math.
I mean, they should be able to calculate. You know, like leadership is about calculation. And
But you can
Yeah.
there are many
calculate
there are
the
many
distance
ways
I'm
to
going to
calculate.
drive my move
Receive the blessings, please.
but I take it.
Yeah,
I
you take
I
it.
take it.
But here's the
take it.
thing, you know,
Yeah.
the last ones are not natural leaders.
Yeah.
They don't. They usually led, or they follow,
They follow,
or they
yes.
they're reticent,
Yeah.
or they're chill. You're nothing like that. Is it something that you've cultivated, your
Over
personality over time, or is it inborn? Like, do you think you just walked into the world with this?
I don't know, man. I'm
I
starting to
can't
find myself in.
concentrate. Keep it down. huh?
I'm starting to find myself in situations now
Yes.
that require me to be a leader.
Right.
Yeah, I'd say life has pushed me to be a leader because, you know, in Sauti Soul, we've always said here the loaf is equal. But, you know, like what the industry expects of beyond the person is people write to me their problems. People write to me about the lack of systems in the music industry. When people haven't been paid their royalties, I'm the person they start to call.
And why do you think that is so? No, but that's seriously.
Because maybe they think I've been paid. But I'm just like, but I just want to say that about leadership.
Yes.
Leadership chooses you, but it's taking me a long time to come to terms with the fact that leadership has chosen me in my field, and in me finding my purpose also, I see that I need my purpose in this Kenyan music industry, our purpose in the Kenyan music industry, is to leave behind a structure that our kids, that will cut the journey of our kids in half. So that my kids don't have to go and sing in 50 bars to be known. They can just be known through the internet and through structures that I've created that will nourish generations to come. Yeah.
So the whole mentorship effort, you know, the Naviri storyteller,
Yes, and
Bensoul, that
Bensoul.
extravaganza thing was so magic.
Oh,
I mean, wow. You
Merci,
know?
man.
The question is, this is something that you, so leadership chose you, but you have risen to the challenge. You have risen to the. So you said yes.
It's very scary. It's very scary.
Because that's what
Bien runs away.
Yeah.
It's responsibility. I was telling you, you know.
Bien runs away.
Responsibility.
It's a good
People
thing.
have expectations.
But you haven't backed off. You've then gone on and
You're
said,
still
okay,
going on, you're still
responsibility,
going in.
expectation. You don't cover yourself or close the door
I
and
take
you take
up
it on and you
because,
do
know,
these things, yeah.
Even for the kids that we mentor, first of
Yeah.
all, before musicians, we are fans of them. Like we are Viri's biggest fans. We are Bensoul's biggest fans. And it's just my like if it is my death wish, it is that people get to experience the musicianship and the beauty that is in Kenya and talent. So with everything I have, I want to give back to Kenyan art. That's what I want to serve. I don't want to serve any other like post. You know, I see musicians becoming politicians all the time. That's fantastic. You've chosen to serve the people. If that's what you're going for, you know. But for us,
I think
People start endorsing him. Huyu unajua.
no. I choose to
Washamba
serve music. I choose to serve music and musicians. And whatever offers come on the table, if they're not for musicians, I don't want them. Yeah.
so. You have a very clear path and a very clear space in which you want to contribute
100%.
and to give your service. Serve. You say you're just all the right things, you know. Even because you just have to keep it going. But you know, guys, I think it's a good thing. So good stuff. So you know, when they came to me, they said to me, Sauti Soul wants to have a session with you. They want to work with you, and they really like this Africanacity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just say it.
Africanacity.
They're naturals. There are various versions I've heard of that word, but it's Africanacity.
Okay. What's the funniest version you've heard?
Africanacity.
Africanacity. What's Kenyanese?
Africanicity.
Africanicity.
So like ethnicity, Africanicity.
Africanicity.
Yeah, but Africanacity. Africanacity.
It's a good word.
It's a good word. Why? What? Just, I'm curious. I'm going to share what give it a go.
Because we've just found ourselves on this path of being musicians, and we found ourselves becoming Pan-Africanists.
Right.
We are.
Yes.
Even like from songs like Live and Die in Africa, if I can imagine our thoughts at that time feeling very Pan-African after you after you read a lot. Give me a break, guys.
Jenna was going to let it go.
Chimano never lets
it
go.
It's Bien who started.
At least we've released some tension. So we just found ourselves after reading a lot. You know, I'm on tour with Bien. Bien is having revolutionary thoughts, reading about Thomas Sankara book. You know, I'm like, this is. So we found ourselves.
Yes.
So for me, it's quite interesting, especially right now.
Yes.
With where black people are headed,
Right.
Africans are headed.
Yes.
With what we've done.
Yes.
I think Africanacity
Africanacity.
beautiful name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
Guys, can you put our phones on silent? Please, guys.
You're practicing.
Guys, let's put our phones on silent, please. Because
I don't know.
Or maybe someone's watching you and they're just like, watch out, begin you come and see me.
Kenyans, but
So yeah, wow. Africanacity, to your point, is exactly what you've described in not so many words. It's the tenacious way, the tenacity that we as Africans and Kenyans embrace, and the ingenuity in which we use our creativity to find a way to get things done.
Okay.
We always make a plan.
Yeah.
You know, we unganisha.
yeah,
And we make a plan.
You know,
So, and it's truly something that we have to say, you know, Kenya view is even better because we are now becoming a globe, right?
Can I add
Sure.
something
Yeah.
on African city?
Africanacity.
African city. Spontaneity.
Yes.
Anyway, so no, I think I don't know if Ben remembers this. At some time, I think many years back, he said something about. I think we were doing some campaign and we were being asked to describe what black is for you.
A black?
What black is,
Yeah, black
because it
is,
was
uh-huh.
African centered, blah
Yes.
blah blah.
No, what is black?
So
I failed that audition.
No, yeah, you did fail. So
Your kids.
Your
so
kids.
listen,
Yeah?
Bien,
Yes.
listen.
Yes.
And so what Bien said that, and it has stuck with me for many years since then, up until now, is that you know what the black is it's blank. It's room for creativity. It's room to build. You know, when you look at the continent, you know, when they kept on calling it the dark continent, but then now as Africans we're just like, okay, cute. Now we're building.
Now we're building.
Now we're building. Where there's an awareness that is going around with Africans right now, that it's like, okay, it's like, you know, you shrug it off, you let it go. Now we're realizing what our worth is. We're realizing it's not just our skin color that defines who we are in our minds and things like that. So yes, we are black and we're building from there. We'll light it up eventually.
Yeah, we do it our way. It's like soul generation. You know, soul generation cannot work like universal music. No.
So just fafanua.
Nifafanue in terms of structure and in terms of, if you look at the systems here, if you look at
Systems here in Kenya?
in
or
Kenya
what,
and
yeah?
in Africa.
In Africa, right?
Yeah. If you look at the systems in Kenya and in Africa, we are building now.
Yes.
This is the
Look at
time
mobile
now.
money.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So you can't say like, okay, a guy from where or a guy from Lokichogio, it's obvious that there's a way he gets all the music. Abroad, there's systems already.
You
You're
can't
born
bring that
into
system
you're born
into
into your credit card,
quantity, yeah.
ishaeka kwa system, everything is in the system, you just click like this, you start downloading music, there's all those platforms. Right now, we have Boomplay. We have our things here that are
Yes.
built for here.
Yes.
Even if they're owned by other people,
Right.
but they're built and they're structured to work
The
here.
tailor made for us.
M-Pesa.
Exactly.
You know, it doesn't do well most everywhere else he goes.
Yeah,
except
people have tried, it
People
doesn't.
have tried.
And the beauty
And there's something there that, you know, when you reverse engineer it, you ask yourself, what's the story?
It's the DNA.
Yeah,
It's the,
it's
the
the DNA.
Yeah, it's
of-
the DNA of the Kenyan people
Yes.
and how they
Ganisha.
transact.
And I might,
You know.
Yes.
I may add, maybe not to product placement it, but anyway, with what you've just said, is that you do realize with the current world, where the developed world is realizing things that we have had for already 10 or more years, in terms of, you know, how we pay for our, you know, how we use M-Pesa to pay for everything, how all of that, how our banks, you know, are interconnected with our phones and things like that. But you know, which is why maybe in terms of how we tell our stories, we need to tell ourselves our stories, so that as well we also understand around us, as opposed to telling our, you know, the narrative has always been, let's tell our story so that they know. Because when they talk about it and they say, oh my God, I think I bought my coffee using my phone.
Yeah, it's
and
like,
you're
oh
just
wow,
like,
it's like, yeah, we do that.
excuse
We
me,
do that
we've
for
had,
money.
like, this has been here, and you know, we've had this for the last 10 or so years. So it's just one of those things. We have to empower ourselves with how we tell our own stories to each other,
To
other
ourselves.
countries in
Yes.
the continent, for them to realize that, like, the continent is moving. There's some places in other countries that we don't know what sort of tailor-made products that they've done for themselves that are working.
Yeah.
We need to understand and we need to empower each other with that information and build ourselves in that regard.
Absolutely, I love what you're saying there, because it's even the same thing when they talk about positive self-talk. You know, when you're being coached and everything, your self-affirmation. Make sure that the record that's playing in your brain is a brain that says, "Yes, I can. It is possible. You know, it's going to be all right. It's going to work out." We're taught that at a personal level, but we need to do that at a community and a national level.
Yeah.
Let's tell ourselves our stories,
Yeah.
because actually we don't. We take it for granted until the time somebody else comes up and then either attacks it
and then you get
or praise it.
insulted, you know.
And then if they attack it, you all go crazy.
The
It's
story
like,
really
excuse
well.
you.
It's like it's not for them to
Once
tell
they
you.
leave, you go back to your, bickering.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. So that's exactly what we're talking about, that Africanacity. And I think maybe there's a story to be told around the COVID period. How have you managed to do what you've done leading up to tomorrow?
Yeah.
In the circumstances and against the odds that we are seeing or we've been experiencing for the last 5
First of all, let me
months.
explain that COVID, COVID is a disruptor. You know, like we had so many plans. We took the entire 2019 off.
Sorry, so maybe just situate me or situate
Let me
us
situate
on where were you pre-COVID in terms of where you were going with this midnight.
Yeah.
Then what happened? Hapo katikati.
So let me give you the precursor, which is 2019,
Thank
where
you.
we took the entire year off
Right.
to record our album.
Right.
Our album was recorded in Joburg, in LA, in different places with different producers, and the
Nice.
plan was to hit
Nice.
2020, to hit the ground running.
Right.
So we had.
We're starting our label 2019.
We started we took the 2019. We started our own label. We took time off to do business. Savara did the Stanford Seed program, and things around developing ourselves
Yes.
as individuals.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
now 2020,
Yeah.
during this time we were surviving on our savings.
Yes.
So we were like, we're going to be cool because 2020 we're going to be making bank.
Yeah.
So we made our plans.
Counted our money.
Danny.
We made our plans in
Danny.
2019 already. We had an entire tour schedule of 25 shows in America, 25 shows in Europe.
So
shows
this was
in
a schedule,
Africa.
the tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shows in
For this
Africa.
year, yes.
Big press, because right now we are with Universal, so we had big
Yes.
press. We're
Yes.
going to be doing at least the daily shows and stuff like
There
that.
you
We're,
go.
we're supposed to be like on national duty.
Kimmel and the rest and all those.
Those are things that were in our plans.
Are you serious?
And then to
You
see
guys,
that now COVID has happened,
Yes.
and then let's push the date by a month and see if just play it by ear.
Yes.
But you can't push it for too long, and we ended up putting out the record anyway.
Yes.
And it's the most beautiful thing we ever did.
Right.
Because we found people in a listening season.
Right.
You realize that where the world was,
Yes.
everybody was rushing.
It was hectic.
So you could have probably listened to the album, but you probably listened to the first 10 seconds of every song. Just to write on Instagram, yo, Sauti Soul, nice album, but people don't really listen. And this became a listening season. And then our entire business had to shift from a record label to a production house.
Yeah.
And our overall approach towards content became audiovisual. So we have a reality show this year. We have a million spin-offs of our reality shows.
Probably
We are opening a TV station. We're starting our online radio. We are just making power moves.
Yes.
It's given us a chance to do administrative stuff
Yes.
that we probably would
So
never.
we wouldn't
never
have
have
done it if we
done.
wanted
And
to.
what I
We
like-
wouldn't have gotten
Yeah.
What I
some
like- what I like
structures
about-
set. Yeah.
What I like about this time of COVID,
Yes.
it's really opened us up in terms of we've realized we need to tell our story, especially us.
Yes.
Sauti, most people don't know Sauti Soul's story. And the world and Africans and black people should just tell their stories within themselves. So
Yes.
we're shooting a lot of stuff. And we
Yes.
realize when you tell that story to the
Yes.
world,
Yes.
it's powerful.
Yes.
Yeah, people just don't know Chimano's story nicely.
No.
Chimano has a good story that a kid out there in Angola who's in the village or maybe can feel aspired, can feel inspired
Yes.
to do something. So if we don't tell those stories, people would know because you discover things about people. The other day I'm watching a documentary and I saw this footballer called Nicolas Anelka. Yeah.
Yes.
So as a soccer fan, I've always just loved him, but he was so misunderstood.
Yeah.
And after watching that thing,
You understood
man, I'm
him.
just like, oh
You're like,
God.
Yes.
this is so bad. I was spiteful.
Yes.
But look at this guy.
Kujisikia, huwezi kaa kwa club hata season moja, lazima yani imagine.
Yeah,
but
man.
when you watch the documentary, you realize Anelka was a good guy.
Yeah.
That's when you realize, man, we should tell our stories. So we're doing
And it
that.
allows you to then give permission to others to live their lives,
To be. Yeah.
to tell their story.
Yeah.
And in that, the magic happens, I think, yeah. So I completely agree.
Super deep connection.
It's all about connection.
Yeah, it's all about connection, and I'm saying like
Yeah.
this connection that we've had with our fans during
Yes.
this COVID period.
Yeah.
I don't think Sauti Sol has ever connected with our fans more than we have with our album and with the content we're doing now, and how we are learning how to dominate the online space.
Yeah.
And even as a new revenue-generating stream,
Right.
if you look at our album launch, we've been able to create revenue to create like our album launch has at least 30 employees. Yeah,
Even right now,
it's
people
like
are still
30 jobs.
working.
People are editing. People are working day and night to make sure the project comes to fruition. And those are jobs. Those are like, that's what I'm saying. We became a production house.
And because like even to add on what Ben is saying is that in terms of even telling our stories, it's just that because a lot of times we do get, people, the level at which people look at us, they think us helping and collaborating is how we're collaborating with artists that they see at face value.
Yeah.
Things that they see on the screen. But the stories that people need to know is that the amount of people we as Sauti Sol employ, for example.
Yes.
When we have a production that we just did, the amount of checks we are giving out and paying out.
Yes.
And these are all Kenyans.
Yes.
Kenyan competent people who are working on our stuff.
Yes.
And which is going to look world class.
Yes.
So it's just that.
Yeah.
Making sure that is
Actually, I don't know if you know, but one of the ads we did to just showcase what Africanacity is with a guy called Paul Kihuha. Paul Kihuha is a guy who does metal, repurposes metal for the film industry. So cameras, whatever sets to enable, to allow it as, to make it accessible to artists. I think you guys have used him.
We worked with him.
You've worked with him, yeah. Exactly, grips and things like that, just to make, so Paul Kihuha. So we have partnered with you somewhat to showcase a story about the economy of the music industry and how that works, and also showcase Africanacity, because as you can imagine, scrap metal being repurposed to do the job of
Listen, man, anybody who wakes up in the morning, to go and make a living off of art.
Yes.
That's Africanacity.
That's Africanacity.
That's waking up in the morning and believing in yourself.
Yes.
Above all things, I know, man, if you're employed, you at least even if you don't believe in yourself, you're in a system that protects you with something at the end of the month or the end of the day. Yeah. But anybody who leaves their house as a week when they make art,
with
ask to sing, to do what?
Yes.
That's Africanacity.
That's Africanacity. Totally agree. So, opportunity is challenge, you turn it into opportunity. Self-belief. These are some of the things I'm picking up. Universal Studios. We're coming towards the end of this, but Universal Studios, guys. I mean, that's something.
It is.
What?
You used to wonder when you were saying,
amazing.
Universal itakaje. We used to ask ourselves those questions.
How did you end up in there?
Like 3 years, man. We first met Sipo Dlamini, the CEO of Universal, in Joburg, like 6 years ago.
Yes.
In the old Universal office.
Yeah.
Where Tracy is.
Oh, yeah.
And then we just spoke for a minute, and he was A&R at that time. I think he rose up the ranks, and as CEO of Universal, he started engaging Sauti Sol to see if we would work with them. And the deal was never really like a sweet deal. And what I would say is, like, 3 years later, we came down.
How do you know it wasn't a sweet deal? Like,
I mean,
what would inform that? Because if musicians, this is the biggest record label.
I'm signed.
Trust me, man, I would have signed.
Yeah.
But that's why, we had very good management. I want to thank Colin Gale. And Marek.
Yes.
Marek, Colin Gale and Marek, who read the contract to us like we're five.
Said,
Like, guys, what they mean here is that if you stand on one leg and sing the song, you're still going to get paid. Like they did the whole, and it was back and forth. It was back and forth for like 3 years, but finally we closed the deal. Sipo came to Savara's house. We had dinner, and he just told us, from one black brother to another, I would never let you guys down. I'd never make you sign anything that would, that wouldn't take you anywhere. And we trusted in him, we trusted in Universal. And I can just say, man, so far so good. I know there are so many horror stories about like record labels and artists.
Yeah.
But you know, so it all came to this deal, already having done a lot of the work for
You
ourselves.
built your credentials.
So like,
There's a
by the
reason
time we
to
were coming,
believe,
the
yes.
deal was a menu deal.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, we just picked the things we need.
You want, right?
Yeah.
That's
Like,
nice.
in a better
That's so
position to
nice.
negotiate.
You didn't go there with
On one leg.
The pressure is always like you're young, man. You're excited.
Yes.
You're given an advance.
You're given an advance.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Given an advance, and you're
It's
told,
like-
Yeah, your money.
you're
Even
told,
the candy
you're
shop.
told, man, you're gonna be sleeping in this kind of hotels. You're gonna be
Hotels.
getting this kind of tour bus.
You're already being
You in
given
your head, you
chauffeur
don't know.
service, you have everything.
You don't know that's your money.
That's your money.
It's like a
You're
loan.
generating it.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a
it's
loan.
your art that's generating
Hey,
it.
but
Yeah. That
honestly
hotel
and
is being
truly,
paid for by
guys,
you.
when we signed to Universal, like,
Yeah.
when we started traveling,
Yes.
and when we started like the levels,
It's a different ball.
yo man, like,
That's when you realize, like,
To a manager.
like you're going to Joburg,
That is
and us
amazing.
guys used to go to Joburg because you know most of the times we went to Joburg was for business. It was on our tab.
Yeah.
So we just get like a furnished apartment and live
Yes.
together.
Yeah.
Hey, but this time they got us a mansion. Then they took us to
Rolling.
Hollywood.
Baller.
immediately
And
have
they
a
took us
So
to
cool.
You
yeah.
immediately have a crew that you are just like, so who are you? I'm from Universal. Who are you
From
again?
Universal. Oh, okay.
Who are you
okay.
again?
Yeah, I'm just here to
okay.
take care of you.
Is that, are you panicked a bit?
Yeah, I had
Yes.
anxiety. I had
Yeah,
anxiety
yeah, yeah.
recording the
Oh my God,
album.
this is too much.
When we
This
went
is
to, remember when we
real.
went to LA, man? We went to LA in this mansion, this house.
Yeah.
On Hollywood Hills. We were looking at the
Hills.
Hollywood sign.
We went
And
out,
just
we
like,
were
this
running,
is-
went for a run with BN.
This
Yeah.
is my money.
I'm like, BN, this is what we prayed for.
Yes.
It was such a bliss moment, man. You're like,
Hallelujah.
I hope a kid in Nairobi, Kenya,
Yes.
trusts that
Yes.
it's possible.
Yes.
But also, like, it was a lot of. I was anxious when I was recording
Yes.
Midnight
Because it's a
Train.
lot. It's a lot to be
Because
on
of
a-
all of that, now
Yeah.
I felt like, wow, aki album mazini kiangusha maze. What if these songs don't hit?
Yes.
We were so anxious.
Then now those things creeped up on me, and I didn't know what anxiety was at the time because
Yes.
I've never gone through anxiety of that
Right.
level.
You've just been a creative, doing your thing.
Yeah, I've just
Yeah.
been creative and I've been
Yeah.
independent. So
Yeah, independent
everything
as well,
I'm doing,
absolutely.
Then you had control
You
over
have
your
total
own.
control.
over your own
now we
That's
had
right.
to sit in Universal in a room and then
Yes.
for them to listen to the album song by song by song and
it's
say,
so-
okay, we like this one. This one will make it.
We've
This
never
one will
gone through
be.
that.
And nobody's ever
Yeah,
done that
because
to
you just put it out there. You
Yeah.
just recorded it. You liked
We
it.
decided
yeah,
amongst the
you
four
put-
of us. And
and
we
you're
just
done.
like,
Nobody
that's
poor, eh? Tunaipenda, sawa, yeah.
Boom.
But now somebody was just like Sipo was there, like a whole team of the like execs and stuff, and they're listening to the album. And I'm like, people don't okay. Anxiety.
Anxiety. They're like,
Then
they
it was
don't like
over.
it.
And they said, that's an amazing album. It's so well. Everyone started giving like good comments. I was waiting for the bad comments. They weren't
They
coming.
weren't coming. Yeah.
But then you go back home, you go to bed, but then you think,
Oh, let me enjoy it. Let me enjoy it.
They love it.
Imagine they how are they pulling my leg?
you're just being nice. or what?
Self-doubt.
Yeah, of course, that will always come. You must quiet it, you know, because here you are, Burna Boy, India Re. You know, Kwanzaa, India Re, like I grew up, my early adulthood, in that energy of video. I'm not a girl from the video. That whole.
Like a supermodel, but I learned to love myself unconditionally
Because I am
a queen.
So that energy of so that when I heard you guys do that, My Everything, I was like, this is names, goals, everything.
Imagine we met Indiari at went to New Orleans for Essence Festival.
Yes.
And we met Indiari at the airport. And she was walking. I told Chimano, I was with Chimano and Patricia Kihoro.
Yes.
Hi, shout out to Panye.
So shout out to Panye. Shout out Panye. And I told Chimano, I was like, you guys, that's Indiari. They were like, see, we Kenyans.
Yeah, me, I was also like,
Kwanza Chimano ati,
where are her bodyguards?
Yeah.
Maze, and I went, I was like, excuse me, are you Indiari? She was like, yes. I nearly died. I started singing for her songs on the spot.
Yes.
And she was so graceful about the whole thing.
So nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what that opens up.
Savara
Yes.
came from
I
wherever
was
he
going to the
was.
washroom. So I came, I saw
And he
this
was
guy
like,
with the lady. I'm like, I went crazy. Like, it was crazy, man. And also us,
Yeah.
even as a writer,
Yeah.
as writers, man.
Yeah.
Indiari has shaped how I write music, how
Yeah.
we write music, how we
Yeah.
express ourselves. Like
Yeah.
Indiari was the
Yeah.
first artist we sang covers
Yeah.
on. So just to have her in our album, I think all the collaborations in the album are very spiritual moments for us.
Yes,
organic,
that's amazing.
Organic.
That's
And
amazing.
and he's just trying to be modest. But Indiari got to her hotel where she was headed. She hollered at us on Instagram.
Yes.
Like we were sending voice notes like we couldn't believe. And
This
he
is actually
recorded
happening.
and asked, I would like to do more. Do you want more? And we were like,
She had the
Look at that
audacity
grace.
after we sent her a song.
Indiari.
She had the audacity to go like, I hope you like it, but if there's something you don't like,
Just
please
let me-
just
let
tell
me
me.
know.
So we were just like,
What's not
excuse
to
me.
like?
What do you?
In fact, when she
you.
sent her verse,
Yes.
we redid all our parts again.
Yeah, we had to
Yes.
re-record everything.
It sounded like, okay, nothing bad to say about local, but
Yeah.
it sounded very, very tin can
Harper.
versus those levels.
Yes, yes.
Like our sound engineer bought the microphone she used just so we could record our vocals for them to have
to be at par.
For them to try to
that
match.
same warmth and everything. I mean, we still didn't achieve it, but anyway, we tried.
No, you're doing extremely well. I think you're just a perfect showcase for what we as a brand stand for, which is, our purpose is bringing possibility to life.
Yeah.
I mean, you are embodiments of that truth, that, if you dream it, you can achieve it.
You can.
And there's a showcase here, look, we've done it, all the way to the things that you're describing now. I'm just like, wow, see? This ain't work. This ain't work. I hope you'll adopt me, Kiasi. Are you hiring? Do you need any, I don't know?
I don't know, you guys
Some-
hiring. I've always wanted to be a banker. Like something in me tells me at banking.
You would,
Same was up.
yani bien, roho safi,
Same
roho safi. Like that's just, that's low, man.
It's not. Like, it's okay.
Like, for real.
Who doesn't want to work in a money pit?
Haya,
Guys,
basi, let's see. So who's the money man here? Who's a Jay-Z? Who's the business mogul?
I try.
You try.
I try.
You
yeah,
keep
like-
it.
Yeah, and it just came naturally also, and by is also need in terms of like as we were starting things like getting the first paycheck. You're paid cash until now. You're supposed to get a check. But a check, it can be an individual check. KRA ndo hapo, that's when we realized, we have to develop a business structure. Even too, so you see the things that we learned in high school and campus. I did business finance.
Okay.
So in my mind I was like, I will never apply these things, but I was just, wacha nimalize nipate tu degree.
Kwa mfuko.
Little did we know that all these things
Are coming
ndio
together.
zinakuja. Look at journalism, writing.
Yes.
Look at fashion,
everything
journalism.
that we
and
studied in
finance.
uni that we thought we're doing as a fallback.
All things
is
working
now,
together
we're trying to
for
open a
good.
TV station right now.
Yeah.
That's the journalism I studied. I just want to,
we were talking
about the money, I just want to remind
Right.
you something that when you put money with people in a group,
Yes.
it's nice not to steal it. We had a group savings account together that Chimano was a signatory.
Yes.
And Chimano just
Really doing that
vanished
right now?
with that money.
And he's
seen
still
it.
here?
He's here.
How?
See, Kenyan style.
Yani
I just keep moving and then they come back.
Yani poker face.
So, yeah, so that account had 36,000 shillings. Chimano just vanished with our 36K. He's never paid the band. It's been accruing like interest.
So
Don't worry. Yeah, keep
Calculation
the account going. Keep the account going.
Yeah.
So does that lead me to who the spendthrift is? Who's the guy who can burn cash?
Please, just check. Look, I want you, Chiki, close your eyes.
I think enough said. Yeah.
Chimano ni lavish. Chimano ni shigi.
Angalia Chimano,
Hey,
yeah.
Chimano.
Najib-
What is the lifestyle?
Nadiva ni nani?
Unauliza.
Takes longest to get ready for a show.
Unauliza.
Nauliza, hata mimi
We
nina-
used to
yeah,
live
yeah.
together. And so when you live together,
It's not polycarp.
those days are no. Polycarp is not a diva. Polycarp is late because Polycarp is sluggish. But Chimano is a
I
diva.
wish he was here. Sluggish.
No, sluggish is Polycarp is just
Polycarp
will walk slowly.
We missed him, by the way.
Polycarp
Telling
will
we
walk
missed
slowly
him,
towards
yeah.
the car when he knows you really need to leave.
Yes.
But Chimano will be late to come to the car, and when he gets into the car, he'll be pissed at you
Yeah, because
for
of
being pissed at him
yeah.
for being late.
You can spoil the vibe of the gig. So just
So if you don't spoil the vibe of the gig, you just keep quiet.
and I kill it. Yeah. Like that's just cheap. Yeah.
Comedian, nani ana. That's true.
Anajijua imeisha.
Anajua?
It depends.
The comedian, nani cartoon character. Fabulous. Sasa kesho.
Easier. Kesho.
Kesho Midnight Train. There's something I want you to explain because we've heard all the songs, they've been on high rotation, etc. what's going to be happening tomorrow? What's the new news? What shall we expect next?
Where? What's going to be happening tomorrow? It's our Midnight Train album launch.
Yes.
We're calling it a virtual experience.
Yes.
We have gone out of our way to give the word experience actual value. So we've just developed something that I think will look satisfying to the eye. We put in a lot of work into it. The dynamics of how the dynamics and just the organization of it was stressful because it changed from one idea to the next to the next.
Yes.
And actually, what you sometimes maybe what you'll see tomorrow will be the last idea that came. That was not the initial idea.
Yeah.
But this last idea ended up being very, I think, very, very creative and very forward-thinking.
Okay.
Something that, I don't know, we didn't think we'd manage to pull off because we were, so constrained with time.
Yeah.
But yes, it's going to be amazing. We hope people like it.
Yes.
We like it.
Yes.
Even today we were, just still, of course, sometimes you can think you're so organized, but you'll be last minute anyway. Especially with some productions.
It's a major production.
So man, it's going to be awesome. We love how it looks. We love how we look, and yeah, we're just from our hearts.
Okay.
To you guys.
Midnight Train. Why the name Midnight Train? What's that? What's going on?
Midnight Train. Bien, tell us about the train you are on.
What is Midnight?
So, actually,
To Georgia.
the
You
name
know,
Midnight-
Georgia.
the name
We
Midnight
had
Train.
a whole story. Yeah.
The name Midnight Train came up on Savannah's parking lot. We were just talking outside.
Yes.
And I just started humming steady rocking on the midnight train, and with time it got new meaning in our lives. Even when I listen to the verses we wrote, they reveal themselves to us in different ways. Midnight Train. The midnight train is the last train or the first train. You're either too late or you're too early. You're either late because you've been working too long, or you're too early because you've come to work earlier than everybody else. And when I look at our grind and all the years we've been together, it's been late nights, it's been early flights, it's been waking up early for interviews, it's been Sauti Soul is on that midnight train grind, but we're steady rocking, we never falter, we always move towards a continuously changing goal, a continuously changing Zion.
Actually, you've cued it perfectly.
So we've never found
what's
a
your
Zion.
Bien?
Zion is
What's yours?
elusive.
Is
it changes.
is
I used to think
Zion-
my Zion was
Yeah.
to win I used to think my Zion was to be played on Kiss FM.
Design changes.
It changed to
love this,
winning
yes.
an
Yes.
MTV
So,
award. Because Nameless and our whole MTV award. So then
Being
Soul won an
signed to
EMA.
Universal.
Then we're like, hey, one day we're going to be signed by a major. Then it happened. Now our new Zion is, man, we hope we win a Grammy, If we win a Grammy, that would be dope as hell.
Our Zion always to remain grounded and together. Brotherhood. That's our Zion.
Also because we owe so many people money together. So we can't leave.
So please
You
help
can't,
us out. Help
you
us
can't
out.
split up.
Help us
You
out.
can't split
Cheap
up.
on this.
Yeah. So that's Zion.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Zion,
it's,
do you mind now?
that's wardrobe. What? Actually, that would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
My future wardrobe is going to be,
Yeah.
set. I'm going to have air conditioning in there where it's going to be set at a temperature. Yeah, that's goals.
That's
But
goals.
then,
And a pitless credit card.
endless. But it's kind of like what Savara said. It's just this for me. The Zion. I feel we already have it. We're just carrying it along with us. The Zion is us still being together. That's because that's what keeps giving.
so much love.
So much, yeah.
I mean, that's what keeps giving. That's what we take to people. That's why our music touches people. That is why when people listen to us, it's because we're bringing the Zion to them. So this, our union, our pact, that's for me, that's Zion.
It's amazing. Beautiful. And it's a creative soul.
And everything was manifesting so crazily because there are songs that we were writing. Kumbe in our heads we were just talking about train, time. You know, so it's something that we've been manifesting. We've been speaking about, speaking it into existence.
Yes.
We're with Chimano, we just make stories. We're like, oh, we're gonna do this. Let's do this. We're gonna make it work.
Yes.
That's Africanacity.
Muliunganisha, for sure.
Africanacity ndio.
Sasa niulize, okay, everybody, you might have favorites. Do you have a favorite on this album?
It changes every other.
Okay, just for today now.
today's hour.
Yeah, today, what's
today, which one is the one that you're feeling? This one?
Mpenzi, unaenda nilikuenzi, kinoma noma, yashamwagika yazoleki ayao, nenda lote mama. I don't know, I like that song.
That's beautiful. You guys are all souls. I think you're all souls, like rebirthing, like, you know, because it's contemporary, but it just goes to a very
it's old, yeah, it's old. But also this album
Danny.
is this
Not
the
old
theme.
Uzay like that, but just like there's
have
a
an old
richness.
soul,
Yeah,
I
that
know,
you
yeah.
know what I mean.
The theme for the album was retro, and the mood board for the entire album was retro. So even when you were writing the songs, when you look at the visuals that have come with the songs that have
that's
videos,
right. Absolutely, yes.
it's all in a time capsule.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Savara, Yako.
What is, now that you even said, what is speaking to me right now is, put my feet in the water. These are the days we used to pray for. You're all I have. You're everything I have to live for. Oh, this is heaven. Sometimes we forget to be grateful. I count my blessings. You are my blessings. Yeah.
You could have been anywhere in the world,
but you're here with me. So let's leave it all tonight. Jukesho si guarantee. Life has no guarantee. Are you ready? I'm ready. African kids, are you ready?
Are you ready?
Wake up,
are
move
you
it.
ready?
Stand
Love
up,
it.
groove. It's your
Wow,
time.
wow. Yeah. No, wait. Yeah, African kids.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were saying it's my time.
And adults.
Say?
Africanacity.
kids and adults.
And adults, yes.
I think based on what I know the show is going to be tomorrow, sober is it for me.
Sober.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah, I think it's just, I mean, it has always been such a profound and amazing song. It's just that, I guess now it has, in a nice Sauti soul way, it has put in the meaning into the song in a cute way.
Sober.
Yeah, but
Sober.
Also, you know, like on sober, I think we're all struggling with something in our lives. You know, like being sober, me, I have a problem with social media. Yeah, like I need my wife is complaining in the crib because I'm on my phone too much. I pretend that I'm answering emails, but I'm just on Instagram, looking at people's lives. I have like one page. When I see her coming close to me, I change and I start like typing like.
Shaky.
Who are you kidding, man?
But you know, she knows. You know, like she knows. Yeah, she's just like, Maze, you're just on the gram, and when I wake up in the morning and look at the gram, so I need to be sober from my phone.
Yeah,
man. Right. Like we all need to be sober from something.
Where's Polycarp and what would he... Where's Polycarp? Let's start there first.
Okay, Polycarp, you know, Polycarp is expecting.
He's expecting.
Yeah, and so because his wife is on her very last trimester, he needs to be home
Any day now.
Any day
It's
now.
any day now?
Yeah.
Wow.
You see the goodness of a group now.
Yeah, the goodness of a group
Career
is
just
like...
mama.
His career is moving.
Yes. It's moving. Yeah, that's not mama at home, but
So,
things are
Maze,
going on,
to all the fans out there, man,
Yeah.
Polycarp is bringing us a bundle of joy.
Very
Triple O.
soon.
Yeah, the old.
Polycarp is living his best life right now.
But he's so happy, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen Polycarp that happy,
Yeah.
and I've never seen Polycarp work this hard.
Yes.
Like, with the mixing and the mastering of the music
Actually, I
and
think
stuff.
he left, he spent the night here.
Yeah, he
in
spent the
studio.
night here.
He spent the night here.
Mixing and producing and yeah.
Like,
and he left like just before
was
we
here all
started,
day
all
also,
day.
and
That's amazing. So kazi, it's not ati kupumzika tu, na kukula matunda ya uhuru. The teacher who used to really abuse us. Do something.
That's the concept for a show.
You've given us a concept already. Thanks.
Yes. Oh, okay.
You'll come give a testimony.
We'll credit you.
Yeah. So my favorite song out of this album is Susanna.
Okay.
Oh, Susanna.
I hope you're happy now.
Oh my God! Okay, are you going to burst into a joyful,
A jig.
a joyful sound?
I really can't like. When it plays, I know all the words.
Yeah.
But when I'm having to, like play it, sing it a cappella, yeesh.
It shows
everything
you're like good at karaoke.
I'm a karaoke star.
You're a karaoke star.
Yeah.
Karaoke star.
Karaoke. Yeah. So
Karaoke
maybe you can do that one at the end, kind of how we started off. I mean, I just want to say, guys, that this has been such an honor, such a privilege. You guys are so good. You're so real. You know, when we watched the first, I think it was the first episode of your reality show, and you guys are sitting down at the back of some place with Ben Rimbui, and I was watching that with my daughter, and we watched the whole thing. I think it was about 10 minutes or so. Initially we wanted to just watch a small clip, but then we ended up watching the whole thing. And says, those guys are like genuinely fun. Like I've hung out with them, like I've been around them. They're like genuinely fun. They're not just like trying to be fun. They're genuinely fun. And I have had the privilege of actually, enjoying that.
But honestly, you're
like,
a very fun person yourself.
Yeah, you're very.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
You made us really comfortable.
Yeah, you made us comfortable to open up.
No, we're not.
And I'm not. When I say that you are truly like my favorite band, Kenyan band, whatever, I'm not joking. It's for real. So take that.
Thank you so much, man. I hope we are never replaced by anybody.
Well, just keep doing what you do, and
When I was told you're being interviewed by someone from ABSA,
you were like,
my mind was like, maswali gani?
za savings, maswali za savings, bank accounts zenu ziko wapi?
Bank accounts zenu ziko wapi?
Credit card yenu mnatumia gani? No.
Like also your approach. If this is the approach that ABSA has to banking, then this is actually a banking for young people. Like so, if you're watching this tomorrow, on the show, like check out ABSA. Check out what they have to offer. These guys are pushing the African agenda. They're pushing the African agenda.
African agenda, the tenacious way and the ingenuity in which we always find a way to get things done. Get it done.
Exactly.
Thank you guys.
It's
been amazing. Kesho tuonane. We have our watch party. I don't know. Mnyinyi mtakuwa wapi?
Kwa nyumba tu.
Tutakuwa tunakula party.
Lakini
party pack yake kwa hao.
Usiogope, yani kuna ma party pack, kuna vitu mobs ziko aligned, go on our social media to be able to know how best you interact with the launch. It's going to be on all our platforms. There's going to be a Insta story live one. There's going to be YouTube.
YouTube is the main.
YouTube is the main,
like, culprit.
portal. Watu wangu wa Facebook sijasahau.
Watu kule ndani kule.
Watu wetu wa Facebook tuko na nyinyi bado, tulianzia Facebook sisi. Actually ask guys what like TikTok is to this generation as Facebook was to us. And so like just everybody like gather up with your family. It's a moment to like share love, amazing music, enjoy yourself, call your mom, call your dad.
And that's the other thing that we can do with Sauti Soul. You can call your mom and you can call your dad and you can jam. Na hiyo kitu itakuwa sawa.
Kill birds with one stone.
Itakuwa sawa.
Sawa kabisa.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Merci. Are we done? Ama inaishaje?
Tumemaliza ukiholela holela.
Wewe pia hii interview yako imeishaje Karoma?
Sasa ulikuwa unataka basi simchomoe sample. Chomoa sample.
Cheza Suzana.
Haya. Wow.
Dong 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 dong. Hey.
Oh Susanna, hope you're happy now. I see you flexing on the ground with your sponsor. Susanna, hope you're happy now. I see you change your skin color and your hair is longer now. Nakuona Paris, hapo kando ya Champs-Elysees, ukitesa na kamini none of my business. And I see you in London, silicone on your bum bum, shaking what your doctor gave ya. On your worst behavior, Susanna Vane. Oh no, hello. If you get to hear this song, somebody loves you. Susanna Vane, Senje. Hello. Change your mind and come back home. Somebody loves you.
Oh.
Merci, guys.
Wonderful.
Merci.
Thank you. You're
so
rolling
much,
with this, in a flow.
Inaenda tu.
Inaenda tu. Si kazi. Unbelievable. Sasa si maisha.
Asanteni mazejo. Oh Carolina.